It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield
and Big Hass.
Pulse 95, of course, it's Yalla Home, live through till 8. It is 20 to 8 already. Let's move over to something that Yalla Home does particularly well. All, of course, led by our guru here, Big Hass. Famous in the whole region, and I mean it, the whole region, not just the UAE, the whole region, for being an authority on talent, whether that be local, far-reaching, Arabic. Who are you concentrating on today?
What an intro. I need to take that intro and push it everywhere. So the interesting thing, obviously with Local Pulse, we always focus on the upcoming and stuff like that. But for the past kind of 4 or 5 days, I've been talking about legends in the Arab. So it's like Frank Sinatra's, but of this world, of the Arab. So today's turn is on Fairuz, Lebanese singer, songwriter, musician, legend.
And we play the music here.
Oh my God.
That's how I know Fairuz.
Fairuz's real name, you guys that you don't know, is her name is Nuhad. She was born on the 20th of November, 1934. The lady is 86 years old and she is with us still. She's an icon of Lebanon and Arab music.
Yeah.
Fairuz is considered by many as the most famous singer in the history of the Arab, region, for sure.
Okay.
Fairuz is considered a music icon of the Lebanese people, of course, and that's her voice in the back. And she's known as the soul of Lebanon, for sure. Yeah. Like, you can't talk about Lebanon without addressing Fairuz.
Right. And I remember you saying that before, actually.
There is no way you can do that. Like, I studied in Lebanon for a year, and that's what we used to listen to in the morning.
Oh, wow.
It's a tradition. Coffee, if you drink coffee in the morning, you have your breakfast, you go into school, you're having Fairuz.
Amazing.
Facts. Fairuz began actually her musical career as a teenager in the national radio station in Lebanon in the late 40s. And she was a chorus member.
Wow.
Yeah. Her first major hit was It'ab, was actually released in 1952 and made her an instant star in the Arab world. In the summer of 1957, Fairuz actually had her first live performance at one of the most iconic festivals in the world. It's called the Baalbek International Festival that takes place in Lebanon, where she was awarded with the honor of the Cavalier, which is the highest medal of artistic achievement by the Lebanese president, Camille Chamoun, at that point.
Wow.
But yeah, she did a lot. Yeah, sometimes when you dive into artists that you talk about on the music grade, we need like 10 local pulse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of tiptoeing right here.
Yeah.
Fairuz's fame kind of spread through the Arab region in the 50s and the 60s, leading her to perform outside Lebanon, and that was incredible. She went on Amman, Damascus, Cairo, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. She has received multiple recognition and awards. This woman was able to break barriers in many ways and done a lot of things. And in her career, spanning 60 years?
60. Wow.
60. Yeah, easy. Fairuz has recorded, check this out, over 2,000 songs.
No.
Released more than 85 albums, 20 musicals, and sold over 150 million records worldwide, making her the highest selling Middle Eastern artist of all time and one of the best selling music artist in the world.
My goodness.
Fairuz is huge, her life is incredible. Her father was born in Turkey. Actually, the family later moved into to Beirut in Lebanon, and at the age of 10, Nuhad, and that's something new I kind of found out recently. People know her as Fairuz, but her real name is Nuhad.
Right.
Fairuz was already known in school for her unusual singing voice, because that's her voice, you see. Mellow.
Yeah.
She would sing regularly during school shows and on holidays, and this was how she came to the attention of a well-known musician and a teacher at that point. His name is Mohammed Flaifel, and he was a teacher at the Lebanese Conservatoire, who happened to attend one of the school shows back in 1950 and was impressed by the voice. You see, it's like, I'm like, you see the stories that you say? It's similar. Back then, it was like someone was there, and he was like, bam, I want this, let's go. It's the same stories for everybody.
Yep, agreed.
But yeah, she's done incredible in the 50s and the 60s. I remember, though, and there's always a personal story with me when I've covered these. I remember watching Fairuz, actually was in the UAE. We were in Jeddah at that point.
Jeddah.
My dad found out that Fairuz is coming to the UAE, and he's like, "You guys, you need to meet Fairuz. You need to like meet her. Like,
Right.
You need to watch Fairuz perform. Like,
Yeah.
you like
It's a rite of passage.
something like that.
Yeah.
So we flew from Jeddah to the UAE just because of Fairuz's event, right? Like,
Wow.
that's it. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, what's the big deal right there? I don't know, man. Like, Anyway, we went there, and then she went in. I'm like, okay, wait. This is just incredible. There is a vibe to the people who would attend Fairuz also are different. Like, there's
Really?
there's a level of intellectual thinking of like,
Right.
what is she, she was patriotic but not too political.
Right.
She was loving and sad, and she would make you cry. She would make you smile.
Right.
There's a sense of classiness wearing white or black or whatever she's wearing, and there's singing.
Right.
Nothing else.
Okay.
There's proudness and again, music back then. Like, see, now this music has been playing for 3 minutes. That's the intro.
Oh, I remember you saying, because the song just goes on
yeah.
and on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that was Kulthum. Kulthum has 1 hour songs.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, what? Like, the other day I talked about Kulthum, and I said, I can play this song and just leave at 7, and like, khalas, done.
You could just go.
1 hour. And back then it was like a lot of recording, and the claps you can hear in the record,
Yeah.
everything. So we saw her live, and I'm like, I
Was she
remember,
amazing?
yeah, I was impressed of how she made my family feel. Like my dad and mom, and obviously we're from Saudi Arabia, but there was a sense of like very connection. And then somehow, some way, we found a way to go inside to meet her after her performance.
How did you do that?
I don't know, my dad kind of worked it out in a weird, crazy way. It was like only 2 people allowed, so it was me and my sister. And when she said hello, it was like, hello. I'm like, yo, what happened? It's a lot of work on the vocals. She says she
Yeah.
can't talk a lot,
Right.
so you don't hear that voice.
Okay.
It's iconic voice. It's iconic, and they studied it in music theories in Europe and
Right,
Canada and in the
right.
States. They study that. So yeah, she comes, of course, her sons Rahbanis. They've kind of changed how music is seen in the Arab region. Legend in every single way. So very, very honored that we're able to talk about her, of course, when we talk about local pulse. But she's done a lot, fam. This woman has been performing since the 50s and still at it, and her music still gets viewed and streamed till now.
Amazing.
She lives in Lebanon. She was recently seen, I think, 7 months ago when the French president...
I was about to say, didn't the French president...
came to Lebanon and visited her
Went to
in her
Fairuz.
home,
Yeah.
which was for the Lebanese people, first time we see Fairuz. Because in Lebanon, there's a lot of political parties, right? She doesn't associate herself with any.
No.
So she doesn't go out with this or see that. But the French president requested that, and she was in her house.
Yeah.
And the pictures were like, whoa, that's Fairuz, man. Like, yo, that's Fairuz. She hasn't seen in the media for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So the people who are 15 right now, like, I only hear about Fairuz and never seen that woman.
And
Like,
there she
boom.
was.
Yeah.
No.
So just incredible. So definitely go check her out. And when I say check her out,
way
like,
to end the show.
dive into like this whole thing called
Dive.
Fairuz. What an incredible word. But yeah, I just want to say, listen, Anna Schofield, good to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Just amazing for you to, like, seriously, I feel like I'm being rejuvenized as well, because I've been talking on my own for like 3 weeks.
You poor thing. I'm so sorry.
I was like looking at my left right now. My neck had a thing. Like,
Never leave me.
100%. And inshallah that will not. And what a beautiful way to segue towards the end of our show with the call for prayer for Al-Isha. We love you guys. We salute you. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
See you tomorrow.
Salam.
If you liked this episode of Yalla Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.